The humanity is in danger. Can we save it? What's up everybody, welcome to the Life of a Board Gamer. My name is Daniel and today we are going to take a closer look at the game called Planet Unknown. It is a game for 1 to 6 players where you are going to be trying to terraform different planets and save the humanity. This is a tile-laying game with all kinds of little different twists. So let's get down to the table. Let me show you what's inside this box. But before we do that, I noticed that a lot of you are not subscribed on this channel. Like, check out these numbers. That's horrible numbers. That's horrible. So show guys some love and subscribe on this channel. Help me to grow this channel to something big. And if you subscribe, you also get to be a part of the most top secret community thing. Just trust me on it. Hit that subscribe, see what happens. Trust me on it. So yeah, now we can get down to the table. Let me show you what you get inside this game, and then we'll talk some more about it. Okay, let's check out Planet Unknown Deluxe Edition. This is a Kickstarter version, so have that in mind. And first thing first, I want to show you something before we open it up completely. I have a little disagreement with how it was done. Now, the box can be shut down all the way. As you can see, there is a little bit of lid opening, because if you press it all the way down, then the lump shows up. So you can't stack it like horizontally, because if it's not on top, everything will be pushing on the components down here and you will inevitably damage them, because this Lazy Susan is from plastic, from game trays, which you'll see in a second. And also, if you store it vertically, then all of these tiles will run all over the board. So yes, that I think is a huge problem. I wish they sort it out, and for some strange reason, as you can see, when you put it in the box, it doesn't fit all the way well. It expands the box a little bit, so it doesn't fit like perfectly in. Its diameter is a little bit bigger than the box itself. So I don't know why they did that, but that's the only thing I have against this game, against how it was done. Everything else is absolutely superb. So yeah, first what you see is the tiles, and these tiles you will be picking up through the game, putting it on your planet, trying to figure out all the best compositions to get all these different tracks pushed and all these different areas connected. And for a little bit of variety, you can always take this one and put it however you want, so combine it however you want. So that's that thing. And just to show you, this thing will be sitting on the board. Let's put it in a center like this, and you will be spinning it like this. And let's say, for example, if I choose to pick this bank to take from this area, then other player will have these two to pick from. Other player sitting on my right and on my left will have these or this or this. For this game goes up to 6, so each round you will decide which one you want to pick. Except if you are playing solo, then you will be just moving them one by one and picking one from here, either this one or this one. You can't take both, of course. So that's the main thing of the game, how you get these tiles. And now let's move them on a side. You get a bunch of blocks for keeping scores, and you can play these games gazillion times. There's enough of these for everyone to go around. Then we have first of our 2 trays of components, because we need them. We have a first player token. We have these little arrow things that you will be pointing toward that Lazy Susan thing, so you know which one you are picking up. There's also this token that's required for one of the factions that you can play in the game. There's lots of meteorites. These meteorites will fall on your board on spaces that have these meteorite like when you place a tile on your board, you have to place a meteorite on this space, and if you don't pick it up by the end of the game, you're gonna lose some points. And you get some green patches throughout the game to patch up the weird 1 spaces left around. So this is 3 different level of cards that you can see in my solo gameplay video. These are used to create event each turn. So each turn something will happen, good, bad, or like not good, not bad, like just so. And It's really nice addition. You can use it for multiplayer if you want to, but you don't have to. But for a single player, you need to play with this one. So that's the first tray. And then we have the second tray. And as you can see, the components are running everywhere. So that's what I was talking about. For the second tray now, there is some empty spaces. As you can see, nothing is over here, and I just keep plastic bag with extra bits over here. I think what they had in mind is if you want to sleeve cards, they will inevitably be higher in a stack, so you can stack them here, 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 something like that. And so each player will get 6 of these little pods thingies. They're really, really cute. You will get some rovers, and you will get some cubes to track different progress on different tracks with these cubes. Also, there are these goals. If you are playing solo, you will be playing on this side, so you can have your like a custom project. If you play, you just go and watch my solo play, you'll understand. But if you play multiplayer game, it's better to play with these. So you put these goals between 2 players. Between each 2 players, you will put this one goal. So you will be competing with the player on your left and the player on your right for different goals. And if you win, you get 5 points. If you are tied, you get 2 points. Otherwise, you lose. And there's a bunch of different things that you can do. They kind of do repeat, but just requires different things. As you can see, this one requires the sieve track, while a sieve track requires this one, while this one requires tech track. But in essence, they are the same. They do the same thing. So they are different, but still kind of the same. There's no like a bunch of different them that you need to learn, so that's pretty nice if you ask me. And that is that. Now we get a rule book down here, and the game, as I said, it's pretty simple. It's okay game, and it explains. I wish it would explain in a little bit more details some of the factions and some of the boards, what they do. So these are the factions that you can play, and these are different boards that you can play. I wish it would explain it a little bit more, but it's okay. I think you can just go on the forums and check it out, and it's not that big of a deal. So now this is the main thing. You will be playing on this planet. Now all of you can play on the same planet, which I recommend for your first game maybe, even though it's not that hard to play on the other side. But for your first game, just so everybody gets introduced to the rules, everybody knows what we are talking about, stuff like that. But actually, on the other side of each of these are unique planets. So all of them have something unique. For example, this one has like a strong winds in the middle. So when you are building tiles, you can never, let's say, for example, take a tile and put it like this, because the wind would like take it away. So you need to at least anchor it in one space on the planet somewhere, then you can put it like this, or maybe even like this if you want to later in a game. So it's doing that. I will not go through all of them, but basically this one is a lot of water, and you have to, if you put a tile, it can't go on a land and a water. It has to go on a completely on the water or completely on the land. Of course, these land tiles correspond to the tiles that you can get in the game. This one has no water at all, but it has these electric currency that helps you connect to a water of sorts. Just to not go into detail, this one has a chasm on the middle, so you need to be careful when building. You can build either left or right. You can build over the chasm itself. This one has a hole in the center. Actually, nobody ever played this one yet, so I'm not really sure what this one does. First tile placement. Okay, so just the first tile must cover either one of these 4 spaces. Then you sprawl however you want, adjacently, of course. First, usually in a game, the first tile goes somewhere on the edge, and then you just put all other tiles adjacent to that tile or any other tile already placed. But in the case of this one, you first cover the middle and then sprawl to the edges of the board. This one is like a really weirdly shaped, squarely shaped, and you need to like put tiles, like slide them in. If you can slide them in, you can put them on, stuff like that. And this one has these areas that you need to, I think, cover or uncover. So this one has clouds that you can't move your rover onto, because the rover, you use that little rover to pick up these life pods that will be on the planet, and you pick up those meteorites that fall. So once you cover these, then you can move freely, but if they are not covered, you can't move over those cloud tiles. This one has 3 little planets, for example. As you can see, these are pretty different, all of them. This one has 4 different areas, and you have to watch out what you are putting in which area. This one is a black hole, and it actually, you are building around it. So you're not building planet, you're building parts of planet. And this one has a lot of holes that you can't cover up. You need to leave them uncovered. So as you can see, pretty different planets, lots of them, more than you need for one game. And then we get to these factions. Of course, on one faction it's Universalis faction, and it's a regular faction that you can play. So it's this Universal Corporation, and basically you get 2 rovers. You move on a different tracks, so you move on these tracks, different tracks, and you collect different resources. Over here you get cars that bring you lots of different things. Water in general just gives you lots of points at the end. And if you move this biomass green track, you will get those little patches to patch different holes. With this track you move your rover around the planet, and with this one you unlock faction abilities, which can be really great. Now that's if you are playing the Universal. Now we flip it over to the other side, and we have all kinds of different factions that play completely differently. So for example, this one, it has a water which goes over all the other tiles. Actually, it doesn't go straight up, it goes all over the place, and it can activate rovers, it can activate biomass things, but at the end it gives you a way more points. Usually it's 10 points, but you get 15 if you move it all the way up, because it has some extra movement to go on. This one, and of course you get 2 rovers, but with some you get 1 rovers. There's one that gives you 4 rovers actually. So, and of course they have all unique abilities. All of these tech abilities are different for each of these factions. So this one, for example, you can use the biomass token and move it diagonally onto this board, and then push this track twice if you want to, for biomass and for, you know, stuff like that. Horizon Group does some, it has 4 rovers, and it needs to collect as much meteorites as they can. And all of these, just so I don't go through all of them because it will take me forever, but as you can see, all of these do something different. This one has very few biomass patches, but it can go up and down activating different things, so you can like get a gazillion different patches. We have a Republic that gets like lots of cards, but then you need to decrease these ones. So they all feel and play very much differently. But yeah, that's everything that comes in Planet Unknown. Okay, so that was Planet Unknown, and before you inevitably go and check out this game and try to purchase it, I will just once more tell you that this is a Kickstarter version of the game, so I'm not sure what the retail version would look like, what are the differences going to be, if any, so have that in mind once you inevitably see this video and go and buy this game. Now, I will start with the bad stuff that completely has nothing to do with the gameplay itself, but with the making of this game. That I already said when I unboxed the video, when I unboxed the game, not the video for you. And that is how they made everything so the box, the lid, doesn't sit flat on the board. It gets like pushed a little bit from the inside. So when you're storing this game, if you store it vertically, everything will fall around. If you transport your games vertically like I do, everything will go all over the place. You will need to set up the game itself, that Lazy Susan thing. So I don't like that. I hate it. I hate that I have to do it each and every time. And I played it for 10 times now, if I'm not mistaken. I really played it a lot. And every time I open it up, and then I have to rearrange everything, because I store my games vertically. Even if I don't, if I store them like horizontally, it would still need to be on top, because if any heavier game is on top of it, and it's a big box, so other big box will be on top of it, or with it in a stack. If I stack it like that, then it would be pushed and smooshed, and that Lazy Susan might get damaged, and that's the main thing of the game. If these things gets damaged and it can be rotated, then game is practically useless. I mean, not useless, but you know what I'm trying to say. It's unplayable at that point. So I don't know, the box could have been just a slightly little bit higher or taller, however you want to say it. and make something to cover that Lazy Susan up so the tiles stay in place for some reason. Why they didn't do that? And I kickstarted this one, so I know that they went through all kinds of different iterations of testings and everything, but how did they say, okay, this is fine, go, is beyond me? I really don't like that. I'm really ticked by it. I don't know why. Now, rant over. Let me tell you about this game. This game is freaking phenomenal. This game is tile laying killer for me. I don't think any other game that has tile laying in it can compare to this one. In a in a sense of fun, and in a sense of how much content is in this box, in a sense how much variety you can get with all kinds of different little modulations that you can employ, like different factions with different planet that you can match with. So I absolutely love every little bit of it. I played 5 games solo, and I think 5 more like with other friends, with other numbers of players, and I enjoyed every one of them. Either playing solo or with other players. There are small changes. So when you are playing with more players, then they are free to rotate. Each time first player is free to rotate this Lazy Susan however they want. So sometimes you get tiles that you really don't need, that really messes up your thing. But if you're playing solo, you go one by one rotation, so you can kind of plan in advance. You know what you're gonna get, what will show up next, stuff like that. So I kind of think I enjoyed it even more solo than in a multiplayer, but still, I think it's a great game. And one minor thing is I noticed that some of the factions with some of the boards, and when those goals between players show up, they can be like tailored between to more to some players than to others. So stuff like that can happen, but I mean, I really do play games to have fun. I do this channel because of fun. I'm not like super competitive. So if you're super competitive, just know that sometimes the stuff will not go your way, because I get a faction and a planet that kind of pushes me to collect all of these life pods, because I use life pods to activate my special abilities. I don't activate them the regular way, but by my special by when I get the life pod, I can either decide, do I want it for points or do I want to activate some of my special abilities. And then between me and the other player is a goal that says collect as whoever collects less life pod gets 5 points, not more, less. So from the start, that player knows that he has 5 sure points, because I want to collect life pods. I really need them because I need to activate my different abilities when they activate them completely different way. Then you have a faction that relies heavily on water tiles, and if water tiles don't show up that much, or if you are not able to take them because other players are choosing and picking like that, then you are kind of stuck. So as I said, when you're playing solo, that is not noticeable that much when you're playing the multiplayer game, but still I enjoyed every little bit of it. I enjoyed this game so much that I think I played like 3 games in a row of a solo play, and I was like completely tired. I wanted to go to sleep, wanted to go home, get some sleep, but I was filming for my Patreons the gameplay videos, and I just when I finished the game, I was like, but everything is set up. Why would I just don't not play another game? And I just pulled everything out, set up for another game, and start playing right away, because I had so much fun, even though I was like super tired. So the game says about 70 minutes, and I would say it's about correct once you know what you're doing, because all these factions and different planets are very much different in a gameplay style, what they do, how they do. So if you have a bunch of new players, maybe just play the universalis things, so everything that's universal, the same, because that way if they have questions you can explain them much easier, because you are playing the same thing. But if you are not well known what other factions do and how they do, be aware of that. So for maybe first 1-2 games, maybe first 3 games, play just normal. We did like went all the way in and just played the first game normal, then every other game was these completely different combinations of factions and everything. But I did that because I played most of them like 99%, and I think I saw and played all the factions except one planet, and all the planets except one planet. So all the factions and just one planet I haven't played, but everything else I saw. I know how it plays, so it was easier for me to just give everything something random, and then if they have any questions I could easily, right from the other side of the table, I could explain them, because they're not complicated, but they are a little bit different. The rulebook kind of misses on some clarifications on a few little things, but nothing you can find online, or people already asked those questions probably. So, and we kind of decided, okay, we're gonna play it like this, and we decided that this makes more sense to us, and that's that. They're really simple, small little rules about factions, stuff like that. Nothing like game breaking or anything like it. So, without further ado, I wholeheartedly recommend you to, if you like tile laying games, if you like polyomino games, go search for this one and get it if you can, because this is a polyomino galore in a box. So, I mean, I like other polyomino games. When I said this one killed all those ones for me, it killed it in a sense. If I want to play a polyomino game and if I have a huge variety of what to choose from, I would probably choose this one first all the time. I mean, I still like games like Bear and Park, like Feast for Odin. Those are all absolutely awesome games. But I would pick this one over any of those because of the different factions and combinations that you can have. And I don't know, this Lazy Susan spinning this thing around, like seeing what other players, when you're competing for those goals. When I was playing against Slaven, was sitting on the front, he was on my right side, and we were always picking tiles that kind of helped us, but just don't have rovers, that just don't give rovers to other players, to him. And also he does the same thing for me. So it was really fun, and yeah, stuff like that. I just enjoyed this game very much. I recommend you check it out, find it, get it. It is fun. It's polyomino galore in a box, as I said. I am sticking to it. I don't know what else can I say to persuade you to check it out. It's a great game. Check it out. And that is that. That's all I have to say about it. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for subscribing, considering subscribing, whatever you do. And also do check out my Patreon. There is a link in the description down below. You can support me over there, because everything I get from Patreons, from video views, everything, I just pour back into the channel. I buy new equipment, new stuff. So if you invest in me, I will invest back in you to get better videos for you, better quality and everything. So yeah, that is that. Thank you all, and until next time. Pozdrav. Before we get down to the table, planets with different factions, but before, I want to show you inside this box. I would like to tell you that I know that this is a great game by itself, and I'm starting to review it before on intro. Come on.